I pride myself on being as prepared for these shows as anybody on any network that does them. It's like my only calling card is uber preparation. Every day I do one of these things.
That's
huge
notes folder.
It's a manila folder, color-coded with notes for everything. Do you know what my Dak section is? It's blank. Because I've been saying the same damn thing about Dak. I could repeat it for 3 months. Because if he turned, what'd you say he turned down, Jenna?
$33 million, $100 million guaranteed.
Oh, okay. So he turned that down, and they called off the negotiations. They didn't talk. In September, they presented him with the Dallas Morning News reported around 33. The Athletic reported around 34. You have now 2 unrelated sources saying that's what they brought.
In that same
right
ballpark.
in the Carson Wentz range. And they were so far away from each other that they called off the negotiations for months. Dak wants to get paid the type of money Patrick Mahomes is going to get paid.
Never.
And if he does not come off that, then absolutely the franchise tag comes into play. And if the franchise tag comes into play, and this is maybe too extreme for some people to think about, but I think it must be considered, then you are not doing your due diligence if you don't at least quietly call teams and say, what would you trade me for Dak?
Do you think?
What would you give me for Dak?
Do you think, like, we're talking about 100 million versus what, 130? 30?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of them. We're talking about 100.
He's not getting 100.
Well, no, but do you think it's when you mention Mahomes, Brian? Is it like is it a money thing? I want to buy an island, or is it a respect thing between players?
Well, I think Carson as well as Jared Goff, they got paid a year ago, so a year and a half ago. And I think far as Dak, he's saying, well, first of all, here's the most important thing. We're not sure what the guarantees were as far as what are you actually going to get. Maybe he will get $100 million in guarantees, but not all of those are actual
but when you
signing bonus. You're going to actually get that.
When you were in contracts, were you looking around the league and trying to figure out
yourself, or was it
and
about?
if he got this, I deserve this. Was that
absolutely? So I'm absolutely saying, okay, Tiki Barber is here. Hopefully, he got paid 2 years ago. I want to get more than that. And LaDainian was up here. He was the best back in the league. So I know I'm not getting LaDainian money. So I had to be somewhere in the middle.
You knew you weren't getting LaDainian money. I don't think Dak thinks he's not going to get Patrick Mahomes money.
Why? Well, why wouldn't he think that? If I'm Dak, this is what I'm saying. I put up my best season as far as yards, 4,900 yards. Best season as far as touchdowns. 2 of the last 4 years, I've won the NFC East. I've led my team to winning more games than Jared Goff and Carson Wentz. Why wouldn't you pay me? I've been the face of your franchise. I've been to a point where I've been everything that you want. The things that you want the owner to say that Jerry Jones doesn't say, I've said the right thing. I've held this thing together when Zeke wasn't there. What do you mean you don't want to pay me? What else do you want to see from Dak Prescott that you haven't seen that you think you'll get out of some other quarterback? What are those things?
You get your agent certificate.
Which is why it might not get done. Because that is exactly how Dak feels. And I respect that mentality immensely. And by the way, I'm all for play. I hate being the guy saying don't pay the players. I think the players deserve even more money. But on a hard-capped league standpoint, where we have a long history of good but not great quarterbacks getting top of the market money and their team being kneecapped by it. Is Dak Prescott markedly better than Matt Stafford? Stafford throws a prettier ball. Dak's more available. Stafford's a little more, I think, has a little more upside, but has had a long time to show it and hasn't fully realized it. Dak is more consistent, so it's kind of, eye of the beholder. The moment they gave Matt Stafford that money, what's happened to the Lions? Man, they cap out at 9-7. You know why? Because you can't surround them with enough people. That is what the position the Cowboys don't want to put themselves in, which is why if he's having that negotiating tact, which I don't blame him for, especially since Jerry, Steven, and McCarthy have done nothing but sing his praises, then guess what? That's where the franchise tag comes into play, and you start playing a game of chicken with your franchise quarterback.
So can we answer the question that you asked? What else does Dak need to do to command that kind of money that he wants? What else do you want to see from him besides all the accolades that you listed?
I think that the obvious answer is wins. You want him to see in the playoffs, playoff wins and Super Bowls, of course, if you can get there.
Carson got that money and he didn't.
But he did not. Carson has not been close to the Super Bowl. He only played maybe a half
and he
or
got
so
the money
in the playoffs, and he got paid. That's because Philly believes that he's the future. I think Dallas is still not sure that he's the future.
That's because Carson's better.
Maybe, but Dak and his team has won more games. Dak has put up more yards. Dak has been more available. And you made a point about when you talked about Patrick Mahomes. Pay him whatever you want, back up the Brinks truck, just give him whatever. Then you're saying, well, maybe Dak should take a little bit less and put better pieces around him.
I'm not saying no. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is it is impossible from the Chiefs' perspective to overpay Mahomes. He's that good. He's so much more valuable than the next most valuable guy. I don't begrudge Dak for asking for the sun and the stars. I'm saying if I'm the Cowboys, there is a number that is a walk-away number because he is not that good. He is not nearly, I shouldn't say that good. He is not as good as the numbers would dictate.
Well, who do you replace him with? Who's the next guy that's going to help you win right now? That's the question you have to ask.
The thing is, you don't have to because the franchise tag. If they have the franchise tag to hold over his head, like he's not actually a free agent this year.
Right.
He won't actually be a free agent next year because of the franchise tag, which is the ultimate negotiating tool for the owners.
Brian, when you were doing contract deals, how much transparency was there within the salary cap? Were you having to do math and like, well, if I take this?
No. Well, running backs don't have to worry about that. Running backs, we're taking such a small piece of the pie that we're not worried about the cap.
You just want as much as possible.
That's quarterback problems, defensive end and cornerback
And would you talk
problems.
to your quarterbacks about? No.
Hey, Donovan, take less so I can get more. No, that conversation never happened. No, I would hope that he would say, I'll take less so Westbrook could get more. But
so if I was Donovan and I took less, I'd be like, hey, by the way,
yeah,
I took less.
The only athlete we ever hear has ever done anything close to that's been Tom Brady.
In the NFL.
In the NFL, who probably understood the cap and how to
And guess what the Patriots did with that savings?
Win 6 Super Bowls?
Okay, but hold on. But traded away Brandon Cooks. Traded away. It's not
Brandon Cooks?
Hold on.
Got 6 Super Bowls.
No, I get it. And you can listen. The Brady discounts are one of the more overrated and overwrought stories ever. He got the biggest contract in the league in 2010. He didn't take discounts early in his career. He got paid 2 years early in each contract, so of course you have to take a discount in order to lock in that money. It's only been the last 6 years he's taken discounts. But if you're Brady, the evidence is the Patriots haven't then they haven't gone all in like the Rams. They haven't gone all in like the Eagles with that money. They have always been looking forward. They have always been preparing for life after Brady. This whole idea of take less, I do not think Dak should take less than what he's worth. We just disagree on what he's worth. It is perfect that is happening simultaneously with this CBA negotiation. Because right now you have the owners fighting and clawing for 0.5%. The players would love to get to 49. They're being offered 48 with a chance to get to 48.5% of the revenue. That extra 0.5% would make all this a moot point. It's an extra $12 million per team per year on the cap. Then there's the difference. But no, we only put the responsibility on the players to take less, be selfless, make it about winning. How about you want to make it about winning? Remove the cap entirely. So we never do that to the owner. So I'm not trying to do that to Dak. I am not saying Dak should take less than he's worth so they can re-sign Amari. I'm saying the Cowboys need to be careful to not pay Dak like he's the third best quarterback in football when in a couple years he could be the third best quarterback in his own division. That's what I'm saying they've got to be careful of.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.